So we're talking about CBDs, which are made with cannabinoids, right?
Yes.
And you said that these work so well, not just for humans, but also for pets, because any mammal or anything with a vertebrae has an ECS, an endocannabinoid system. That's a very big word for me, and you're going to definitely have to explain to me what an ECS is.
Yes, absolutely. So the ECS is the endocannabinoid system. And you need to think of a system not really as a lot of things, so much as just many receptors within our neurotransmitting system, so within our nerves. And the ECS, it interacts with a lot of our systems, so the cardiovascular system, the digestive system, relaxation, memory, even anti-inflammation.
So in learning about the idea of a system, because like you just said, I think of it as different things. It's not so much like your digestive system or your respiratory system. It's more that there are parts of your body that will just be activated, that will be helped by ingesting the CBD. So it's almost, as if you have the CBD in certain parts of your body, you're saying, oh, this helps me, and they're then being activated and kind of lighting up, if you will.
Yep, absolutely. And the way that those work are via the receptors that, again, make up that system. And those receptors, there's two types of receptors. There's CB1 and CB2.
Okay, so receptors. Let's just stop there for a second. What exactly is a receptor? Where do we have receptors on our bodies?
So most of us remember back to high school biology, when we learn about nerves and synapses and the gap between nerve portion A and then portion B. So within those synapses, there are little tiny receptors. And let's just say that the receptor CB1, which is present in so many of our systems, that will pick up certain messages, from the nerves. And so when we give cannabinoids or CBDs, then it affects those transmitters in a way that helps us potentiate good feelings, anti-inflammation effects, positive aspects.
So this is a pretty large system here. We have the CB1s and the CB2s. One of them is more for brain and nervous function. Which one is that? CB1?
CB1.
And then CB2 is all of the other organs and the good stuff, right?
Immune system.
Immune
CB2
system.
is in the immune system.
Oh, great.
Yep.
So depending on which, receptor is working in the different parts of your body, when we take in these CBDs, you're talking about almost a full body effect. Almost all the parts of your system are being activated and getting, like you said, transmitted these messages.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of messages are transmitted? Is it saying, you said anti-inflammatory? Does that mean that's how something can actually become an anti-inflammatory?
Yep. And we'd have to go down to the science of the molecules, to decide and to really look at what kind of messages are being transmitted. But what we do and what's easier to study for us is the effects of these chemicals and the effects of these medicines that we're able to give. And so the effects are, of course, so many positive effects and really no negative effects that we've seen, such as reducing inflammation, reducing the body's response to anxiety, response to pain, even as we discussed before, gut homeostasis. So keeping the actual digestive tract functioning properly in a way that's not underactive, which tends to be a really big problem, particularly when we've added in so many other Western medicines.
Right. So if I understand here kind of at a very basic level, what we know about CBD is that it can be digested, if you will, by our body's systems in so many different places. It's not just going to say, hey, my brain's feeling a little bit better, thanks for the ginseng. We're talking about brain, heart, immunity, gut health, because that system, the endocannabinoid system, thank you, is so present throughout the body. And it's not just humans, it's anything that has a spine, or as you said, mammals?
Yep, mammals. Invertebrates, yep.
And it happens in our neurons, which we all have, that when they fire and send off messages, there's a little CB1 or a CB2 going, I like this one, this works for me. And because we have those in so many places, that's why CBD affects us and heals us in so many places. It's such an extensive. Okay, it's such an extensive system, so it works so well in so many different ways. Yeah. This kind of sounds like a little bit too good to be true, so I am curious, is it totally safe? I mean, is it a safe treatment for dogs especially?
It's completely safe, completely safe. And we know this not just from the dogs and the studies that have come out very recently. 10 years ago, we didn't even have these studies. But now there's been a lot more funding in this space, so we've been able to really see the effects long term of many of the medications. And there is no downside. When you have a pure form, when you have the right type of administration, there is no downside to this medicine.
So you said a pure form, right type of administration.
Right.
What would make something pure? Why does quality count when you're talking about something like CBD? And what is pure CBD?
Yeah, absolutely. And so we could go around and around and talk about the CBDs all day long. But are you actually getting that medicine from the product that you're purchasing? And particularly just with the past decade in this type of area, in the type of THC and CBD medicines that have come up onto the market, there are a lot of different sources. But I know that the product that we're using here has been backed by even a gentleman that I have followed for many, many years. So I feel so good about the actual product that is being put into this supplement.
Go ahead.
How else
No,
do you
you're
want me to
nailing
say
it.
that? Do you want me to use PET, like the actual name of the product?
Yeah, Pet Med Labs.
Okay,
is the
good.
product, yeah.
Okay.
I need to say that more.
Although I don't think we want to mention Dr. Robert Silver.
No, I know, I don't, yeah.
But you're hitting it right, that this is backed by the leading.
I need that, and we need to say
But
that.
you didn't say the name. You didn't say the name.
No, but
You
I
just
said gentleman. I don't want to.
Pet Med Labs.
Yeah, yeah.
Med Labs. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So what is pure CBD, and how do you know that you're finding it when you go to purchase something for your pet?
Yeah, it's very interesting because we can sit here and talk about CBDs all day long, but is the product that you're actually giving your pet a pure form? And particularly in the past decade, we've seen so many products on the market, both in human and then the non-human realm. So just even me in particular, one of the reasons that I'm here is because I know that the source of this CBD product is one of the most respected in the veterinary industry. So I feel so comfortable about what is actually being put into this medicine, and that's why I give it to my own dog too.
So we know it's well respected. We know that vets stand behind it, and the Pet Med Labs CBD formula is pure, which you said is, of course, even more safe because we already know we're working with something that is virtually harmless. It
Right.
really is.
No, absolutely, and it is just CBD. There's no
Right.
THC in it because something that we fail to kind of remember is that dogs aren't small humans.
Right.
It's not the same. Cats even aren't small dogs. So we, as veterinarians, we need to treat each species very specifically. And
Right.
animals are much more sensitive to THC than humans. So it's even more important for us when we're looking at this product to make sure that there is none in this, in Pet Med's lab product. And that's, of course, again, one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about
And
it.
you don't just want to go and buy it from anywhere because you don't know if this is being created and as purely and as safely as possible. And with Pet Med Labs, you are going to get pure CBD oil, safe, no THC, with all of these wonderful benefits you mentioned. So aside from it being pure, what about the administration? What's the good way to administer to a dog? Because when I hear oil, I'm thinking, is it a drop on the tongue? How do we get a dog to take something like this?
So can we redo that question? What are the products that you want to highlight?
Okay. And by the way,
It's-
we should probably do, because I've got a whole list of things that relate to Pet Med Labs.
Okay.
It's everything, so this was kind of a conversation about.
Okay, yeah, the multiple, yeah.
It's kind of like a separate sort of segment that we should talk about our products with, since we wanted to just cover CBD and endocannabinoid system.
Okay.
So before we move on.
I think maybe in a basic and just be food, healthy organic food, anything that you would put on food.
Okay, so Natasha,
Thank you.
Jonas is going to tell you what the actual verbiage would be correctly to describe our product. So go ahead, Jonas.
Full spectrum cannabinoid extract.
Okay.
Did you say cannabinoid?
Cannabinoid, or
Does that
you
mean
could
that we're
say
pronouncing it wrong?
CBD, but you could
No.
say CBD too. Isn't it full spectrum CBD?
Cannabinoid.
Full spectrum cannabinoid extract, high or rich in CBD.
Okay,
Full spectrum.
it's okay.
But I like the full spectrum because there are many different types of it.
Full spectrum is the
Right.
correct, language.
Okay.
We have to make sure that we're not saying just pure CBD.
Got it. Okay.
Pure CBD will be a patented drug in a number of months.
Okay.
And we get in trouble for that. But
So full spectrum cannabinoid.
Full spectrum. And what's the other one you said? Pure high. What is it? Rich.
high
Okay. High.
maybe
I would hold off on that. I mean,
No.
I think just by saying it's
Full spectrum, okay.
cannabinoids.
Okay.
And then to talk about our product, the next segment that we're going to do that talks about pet med labs, but it's great to reference it as much.
So what are we doing now then?
Okay.
We're going to kind of finish this up just to circle back on the, like I'll say, a pickup on full spectrum cannabinoid
One requirement from hemp.
from hemp.
Oh, good.
Without THC.
Okay, yeah, I can start with that.
Hemp
Okay.
without
So
THC.
let's circle back on that.
Yep.
That's kind of a pickup. And then I think we've covered all of the other topics on this part.
I'll start by giving that phrase, and I'll ask you why it's important to make sure that it is as pure as possible, and that way you don't have to say the product. So
Okay, so all right, so Natasha.
yeah,
you
yeah,
got the
I got it.
pickup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quiet on set. Please, quiet on set.
So we're just jumping back into that conversation, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And action.
So we're talking about a full spectrum, very highly concentrated cannabinoid that comes from hemp with no THC. And why is it so important to have something that is so pure and made so well, especially when giving it to an animal?
There are a lot of fillers that can get put into medicine, and there are a lot of ways that we can almost dilute the products that we're giving to our pets. So to have something that's completely, like we said, full spectrum, very isolated, very, very pure in its form.
Yes.
And again, like we said, coming from hemp, not with the THC, that allows us to give the safest products that we can to our pets.
I'm so proud of us.
Okay.
I'm
like a child, I do good.
Okay, we got that.
What is the pet med labs difference? And that's answered that with full spectrum.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll just repeat that in a different way. Perfect.
We're going to go to that.
Sure.
Okay.
And hold on.
You can do it. You got it.
We're rolling again. And action.
What is the Pet Med Labs difference?
So PetMed Labs has found a full spectrum CBD product that's very, very pure from hemp, right, from hemp, and without any THC, which is super, it's incredibly important when we're giving this product to our pets.
And why is it important to make sure that something is not too diluted? When you want something that has a more high concentration or is very pure.
Right, exactly. You know, when we give an animal to our beloved pets, you know, we want to make sure that it is the purest form that we have. We don't want to put too many fillers in. What if we have a pet that's sensitive to some other type of medication, or even something as simple as sensitive to another food product that gets put in?
So it's not just safety, it's also value too. You're getting a better concentration of something for your value, but you're also being safe by not adding in any additives or fillers that may disagree with your pet.
Right, especially we don't want to give something else that's going to cause an allergy. You
Exactly.
know, when that's the whole point, is to reduce inflammation in the first place.
And that's what Pet Med Labs avoids by making sure you have exactly what it is you're looking for, which is the hemp-based, no THC, but full spectrum cannabinoid.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's great.
That was great.
That's great. Okay, so what I think we want to do right now is we're going to move on now to like a Pet Med Lab segment that talks about our products.
Okay.
So we're going to stop recording